How you doing, Kimberly? These bees. G Hain, how you doing? Hey, can you hear me all right, E?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, nice, nice. I'm running a little behind schedule. Not really. I mean, it's only 54, 7:54. We'll get
Which
started
is a
with
little behind schedule from when Tony gets on.
what'd you say? I didn't hear what he said. Hope y'all doing all right. Those of you who don't know who the Barry Mel Experience is, we're just a group of guys who share our experience with bariatric and weight loss daily, every Taco Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, we're just kind of getting ourselves together, getting, comfortable. We'll get on with our topic for the evening as soon as Tony comes and hangs out and E can stay on the screen, we'll be good to go. E can stay on the screen, we'll be good to go. But any other way. But that's what's going on. Um, just in hindsight, there's a lot of odd things happening in the community over like the past couple of days out of nowhere. A lot of things going on. In our sister chat, Talk Barry to Me, it's on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific, called us out. She's like, yo, men, get your mans, get your boy, you know, speak up. But it's not just us, it's not, said directly to us in general. It's just like men as a whole, need to speak up and stand out when it's time. Tara, welcome to the live. We got Biggie coming back. It's nice.
If I can get the screen
Glad you
screen to work now.
glad you could join me. I appreciate it. It's nice
Let,
of you to be here.
us see if I can get it to work this time.
Breaking
If
free,
bro-
Jamie. What's happening, man? Welcome. How you doing? I'm hosting the hostess with the mostest today. What's up, Drew? Um, I'm taking over for Tony. He's too starstruck. He hasn't recovered from JVY and like he's not used to it and can't handle it. Barry Cousin, how you doing? And if you know me, I can't either, but I feel a lot safer on this screen. I'm a keyboard warrior.
Could you hear me, Rap?
Yeah, I can hear
Okay. For
you.
some reason, my thing keeps on freezing, so we're gonna turn that off for right now. See if that works.
Oh, he was on earlier, Drew. Okay,
We ain't gonna go no green screen
good.
today
Glad you're
because it keeps
doing
on
well,
freezing. It's not like
Barry Cousin. Oh, your screen keeps freezing?
yeah. Every time I try to put up my
Is
my
that what you
green screen,
said?
it freezes on me. Yeah, it's freezing on me.
Oh,
I think it might be the
yeah.
guy.
I
It
mean, you
might be the
got a
guy in the big
man
box's
cave
fault.
behind you. Yeah, you got a man cave behind you. You're good. Hello, Nebby.
Now the question though, Rep, is: have you had your multivitamin today?
Sometimes I make the mistake and forget, but I try my best to keep up with it. And it's always ProCare for sure. They got the best
See, if I
calcium chews, period.
if I forget, I have Barry Mother in my head. Like I have nightmares of Barry Mother screaming at me. So I got to make
What's
sure I
up,
take it every
BST
single morning.
Bestie? Welcome. I'm really surprised Tony is
Oh, I
taking
see
care of
him.
some personal business right now,
I just saw
and
Tony.
he may not join us this evening. I don't know.
Oh, he's here.
Uh-oh.
We knew he was going to be here.
I hope
He
he's
can't. He
actually
can't
here.
leave. He can't leave me and you running the show by ourselves. He knows better.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Some things I need to take. I'm gonna make
Yeah,
sure I keep an eye on them and just put my box up.
no
What she say?
kidding.
So 8 o'clock on the dot. Here we are. What do you
kidding.
say?
He said, "No kidding."
Hi
No kidding.
guys.
Hello, hello.
Oh, hi. How are you doing?
Hey,
Oh
Tony, your
man,
voice has changed a little bit.
I know.
man, what is happening? We got a guest co-host on Tony's box. Is that what's going
I
on?
mean, whatever.
Yes, tonight is me. My turn. Hey
Man,
Big, what's your hat?
It's still packed because I haven't unpacked my bag yet.
Unbelievable.
unacceptable.
Yeah. Hey,
Unacceptable.
I came home, went straight to a funeral, came home, had to go straight back to work.
Well, you need to get more hats.
Yep. I need to get one that's a little bit smaller this time.
Well,
See, Rab was supposed to
Oh
bring me some
my.
hats, but he forgot them.
Yeah, I did. I did actually forget them. But I think I forgot them on purpose because I don't believe they fit, bro.
Hey, they're the what? The 2XL?
Yeah, not the ones I had.
Well,
I got a little peanut head,
No,
man.
he's
I
got the
got a little
same size
peanut
hat
head.
as me.
no, but you had said you gotten a couple that were too big that you're gonna give me.
Yeah, but
Those were
but
2X, weren't
still,
they?
No,
no,
so what happens
they were
is
X they were XL.
Well, those should fit me then, because I almost fit into your guys' hats.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna get them shipped to you. I'll just send them to you because they're too big for me, man. They fit over my ears, man.
Yeah, the XL should probably fit me perfect.
Yeah. Okay. And they're nice ones too. Real nice ones. Collectibles for sure. So here we are. Very Male Experience. Thanks for tuning in with us on Taco Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. on the Pacific side of things. We're glad to have you all. When you have a moment, could you please, not please, but please with a P, tap on my nose right here on this zit. And let's get the likes going on so we can get the FYP page hot and excited about what's going on with the Barry Male Experience tonight. Also, don't forget your vitamins. ProCare Health. We got a discount for you. Link is in the bio. Tony stays hydrated on a regular basis each and every day. Every morning, he's got his number one post headed up the steps. Hydration Hero daily.
I didn't
Don't
say
forget every Sunday. Every Sunday. Sorry, Tony.
Barry
I'm
Mama. I
so
did not say
sorry.
that out
I'm
loud.
running the show tonight. I'm running the show tonight, Tony. Calm down.
Nice,
Every Sunday, Talk Barry to Me with our sister chat, ESG Bestie and her crew. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. And that is the view.
have you guys had
Well,
Seek?
Had what?
huh?
Seek, the clear protein.
No.
I've seen it. I never had it.
This is the only thing saving my ass. This
Literally?
past 2 days. Literally,
Literally?
the only
Pun
way I can get my
intended.
protein in right now.
Really? Is it because it tastes good or?
At this point, I think anything tastes better than just plain water because
Yes,
I've
keep
done
it
nothing
tight.
but liquid. So it's like Gatorade or Seek right now.
Now, how
Right.
long you got to be on this diet? This little
Bobby
liquid?
Davenport.
So I'll be
What's up, bro?
drinking all the way up until 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then I can't have anything else. And then 10:30 I have my procedure.
Nice.
Bobby said it absorbs better with water.
Yes.
So let's just get to it, man. Enough of the lollygagging. There's a lot going on in Sleeve Sneakerhead. What's happening, man, in this community right now? Like, we got started off on a rough spot. It seems like, anyway. That's the way it appears.
It's
But
been. I'm telling you,
yeah,
since we got back, it's been insane the past week. Like going
yeah,
straight in through the weekend, like it just things went sideways real
yeah,
fast.
yeah.
So
What kind of things do you think, Biggie? What kind of things went sideways? Can you think of, like, with the content that you've been seeing, that we've all been seeing? What do you think is going sideways?
Not necessarily sideways. I think as people grow in this community, they got to go on their own paths. So things that worked 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 months ago may not be working today. Hence the OSLP. I know that they have nothing but mad respect for each other. They built one of the most amazing award shows ever.
Mm,
But at this juncture in their path, due to health and things like that, they have to go their separate way. But like I said, we still have something to look forward to. There, Mel's still going to be continuing it on and things like that. So that's we got to make sure that we're always looking at the positive and all the negatives.
But what?
right.
So to play devil's advocate, because we
Yeah.
all know how reactionary the community can be. What was the first thing you said when we were like, "What do you mean you're leaving?"
I was shocked. I was like, huh? I just talked to you like 3 days ago, and you're like, B and me, you all need to keep on going. This was close. Y'all have a chance the next one. And I was and then to come back and hear it, I was like, well, where'd this come from? It was nowhere, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Um, I just felt like, I have abandonment issues as it is. I'm like, yo, this has just been ripped away from us. This experience has just been ripped away from us. What's happening? That was my initial, like, what's going on? Are they okay? And, you know, do I expect anything less from the both of them? Of course they're okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Kel's got something she's got to deal with, medically, her health, as she stated, and Mel's gonna hold it down,
Yeah.
and keep it going, keep the legacy going, man. And that just defines again the community and where we stand. So let's move on to the next one. What's the next thing that we, want to cover?
I think the next thing should be basically it's just gonna go basically just go in order.
Yeah.
I think the thing that went on with Pop Recovery, I think that took everyone by surprise. Obviously they had some big creators decide that they were going to go in a different direction ahead of their event that they have going on. And I think that took a lot of people by surprise because a lot of people spent money to go to this event with the specific reason of going to see those content creators.
Right, right. And if those of you in the comments, if you have any type of contact with Pop Recovery, please, hey, share this live because I got something to say to Pop Recovery tonight on this live. So it'd be nice if they could come on and I could say what I got to say. But please share the live. I'm not going to drop the beans on them right now. Share the live, and with 15 of your friends, give us a thumbs up, and we'll continue on with our conversation with the community.
Yeah.
It just it seems like the same thing happened like last year over, like it's like a something that's continuous. Like we've only been here a little less than maybe almost 2 years now, and it's like the same thing. It's the same cycle, like the same time. Change the seasons.
Yeah.
Now
Honestly, it's a change. It is almost like a bi-yearly thing. And I don't want to say it's like a bi-yearly event that shit happens in the community, but it always happens. It's inevitable. There's so much going on in the community. There's so many interactions in this community, and something's bound to happen. Again, it's life.
Yeah.
We all, if I were to shut down, if I were to shut off this camera and go about my normal life, it's not like everything's squeaky clean and everything is great and hunky dory and stuff. Like, stuff happens. We all have crap going on in our lives. Something comes up here and there. I just had stuff come up in my life again. So, it's inevitable. You can't avoid it in any space, regardless if you feel like this is your safe space. Stuff is going to happen, whether you want it to happen or not. Like, you can't avoid it. Life happens in front of all of us, whether we're on an app or whether we're on a certain platform or whether we're dealing with our everyday lives.
Now, for me, being someone that's still fairly new to the community, I know you guys have been here a little bit longer and things like that, and you said that this has happened before. Do you guys see this happening more after a major event? Because, like I said, same thing with Pot Recovery. We met them at the JBY. Everything seemed perfect. They were all nice and cool, and all of a sudden, the event's over and boom.
And the funny thing about that is that the stuff that transpired actually happened before JBY. But I think the people that were at JBY, everyone was cool with each other there, because I think those are everyone who represented that went there, everyone was on good terms. So they may have had like their advocate that showed up there that still had a good relationship with, obviously with everyone. So I think that it went smoothly and transitioned a lot better as far as like, setting that positive atmosphere. Because again, you can't go to JBY and expect it to have any type of tension or turmoil. And it just, you don't want to bring that type of energy to that event.
No, I just can't. I can't see where there's even any room for it. I mean, there is just so much love in one area happening all at once. It's just like, and the hardest thing is how to receive it, but it's love. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. And I just don't know where any negativity in that type of space or any event for that matter. I know it happens. But at any event for me, man, I just like to scream positivity as much as I possibly can.
So, I mean, what are your guys' thoughts on the situation? Because I know I know that the super sleuth of the entire community, Kara, was already putting out her posts, and of course, I always love her content because she always gets to the bottom of things. Like she's good at getting info. She was, anytime there is some type of drama in the community, she always gets down to the nitty gritty, and she gets facts from both sides, which is what you should do. Again, because it's really easy. Because in those waking moments of that announcement, there was already judgment passed down on people, especially the judgment coming down on the creators, which is completely unfair. I mean, again, any judgment on anybody without hearing the whole story. So either way, whether you supported Pop or you supported all the creators, the negativity towards either entity isn't fair because we don't have all the facts. And even if we did have all the facts and you did have your opinion about it,
it's none of our damn business, man. It's
exactly.
none of our business.
It's none of our business.
But check this out though. Check this out. Like I pay homage though to like the creators for like coming out and saying to the people that may have paid for tickets to come see them in that event that they're having. They at least did that and they paid their dues on that and apologized and took accountability for that part. But at that point, that's where it stops. It's like, who cares what happened? It's none of our damn business, right? And that's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
It's just like everyone who goes to a job. If you're not vibing with what's happening at your job, you leave. I mean, again, like if there was a difference in in their pathway and their vision on how they wanted to approach the community.
Yeah.
Again, you have a business, and then you have obviously creators who are part of the community. Again, like the business is their ideal is to obviously make money. It's a business.
Yeah.
And then you have the creator who comes right from the community, who was taken from the community because they had such a large following and support. Again, when you hear like, people join, for it's supposed to be for the greater good for the community. Again, eventually, somewhere along the line, you're gonna run into something where things don't align anymore, and sometimes it's just best to move on.
And
That's right. Barry, like Barry Mother says, KT and the other three, they didn't have anything negative to say to him. They did what they should have done, which is great. I think it's loyal as hell and down to earth. They
And
took care of their business and kept it moving, man. That's it.
yeah.
And I think that everyone involved at the end of everything, I think everyone's going to be fine because everyone's going to get what they want because whether it's the creators, they're going to go on and do their own thing like they have always.
See,
Pop, I don't think Pop's going to struggle to get anyone else that may want to pop up for them.
this is the ugly side of business of being a content creator. That honestly, that's what it is. If this was just a normal business at your hospital, you probably would have never heard a single thing about this.
Right.
Since we're content creators, since you're content creators, it's going to get blown out of proportion.
Across the hospital.
What was that?
What did you say?
You'd be surprised what goes across the hospital.
Oh yeah.
It goes from one end. It doesn't matter how big that campus is. It goes from one side to the
Yeah.
other. People find out.
Yeah, I've been in that atmosphere. The hospital is quite the journey. Yeah.
But I've always learned that the truth lies somewhere in the middle of both stories. I never like to pass judgment until I hear both sides of the story because each person's going to want to make it sound like they're right or they're right. So I've always been taught the truth lies somewhere within the middle.
Yeah, but if it doesn't indirectly involve my wallet or my household or what's under my roof, it's like, why do I care about what goes beyond what they've shared other than not, being able to attend? And all the other extra stuff is just like,
You look at this community?
right.
You see how passionate a lot of us are, especially for like an event. We just came back from JBY. How amazing did we think that event was? How you look at all the posts, you look at all of the energy that came out of that, where people we couldn't stop talking about it. We did the same thing when we came back from retreat. We couldn't have enough of it. We didn't want to leave. So again, we haven't gone to that the Beautiful Mind event. We've never been to one. So again, we don't know what the atmosphere, we don't know what the energy is. But at the same time, when we went to these events, there were people we wanted to see. There were people we wanted to meet. Right. These people spend their money, obviously, to go to an event where they can get it's geared towards helping someone in their bariatric journey. But what draws them to this type of event? The people who are there, the people that you resonate with. That's what people get upset about. That's what people are like. You know what? The one reason why I wanted to go was I wanted to meet Prophet Queen. I wanted to meet Tanya. I wanted to meet Teresa.
And we do understand that these events aren't always the cheapest. They try to go as cheap as possible, but to throw an event in itself, because I've thrown many events in my career, it's just not. It's not a cheap thing to do, and I believe they feel for the people of the community.
Believe me, I'm probably not going to another event for a very long time because I'm cashed out now.
Yeah, it's expensive.
It is, and a lot of us, we either go onto a firm so we can pay monthly.
Yeah.
But you know what? How many times can I? It's like taking a loan out every single time. Like how many times can you stack a loan on top of something before you can't do it?
I know that answer.
Stuff too high for people to be wasting money. Very cousin. Hey, I got to tell you though, the events that I went to, I it was I'm creating memories, right? So it's like I'm really funny about, my time and my energy, the time and the energy. And I keep saying this, and I'll say it over and over again. The time and the energy, my time and the energy is more expensive than anything on this planet that I can even think of. But the idea, the most we can get out of life is the memories that we make. So I'm really cognitive about, what time and energy I'm putting into things to create memories that will last forever and
And
into, the future.
And just
every event I've gone to was to meet people that, obviously Rab, the first event we ever went to was the chance
Yeah.
for us to actually hang out for the first
Yeah.
time.
And it was really small and we had a blast.
Yeah. And again, we got to meet a whole bunch of people that, we never thought we'd go and meet. And then, obviously retreat was the same thing. I got to meet more people and, JBY, again, meeting more people that I never thought I would ever meet. And just enjoying each other's company. And again, it's not about the event. Yes, the event happens. There are things that take place and there's value to it as long as you're going there for those reasons. But what happens after the event is the connections. And that, again,
Yeah.
we make the connections on this platform, but when you
Yeah.
do it in person, it's a completely
Different.
different thing. It is.
Right. Yeah, and I saw Cara say get to know people better. It's wild because like I'll have so much to say right here on like, and I talk to this about, my girlfriend about it all the time. There's a difference between who the person is online on this platform than it is in person, because in person no way, I don't talk this much unless you like come up and you're talking to me. I'm like so damn quiet. I'm completely different than this moment right now. It's just people, everything isn't for everybody, and that's okay. It's what makes us different. But it still makes that we still have that connection. We don't have to get along. We don't have to, like each other, whatever. But we're in the same, journey. And not alike, but we're on a weight loss journey and we share the same interests and eat the same foods and share the same activities. And it's just really amazing, man, what this community has done for me personally. What this community has done for me personally. He
into
was
this
able to
event,
meet the whole. I was just saying, Basti was able
you
to
got to
meet
ask yourself.
everybody on the pink carpet. Yeah,
You got to ask
go
yourself
ahead,
each
E.
time: is the value you're getting more than what you're spending? For me, it was so important for me to go to
Right.
that first retreat because I was a new Barry still. I didn't really know anybody. So not only did I get to meet the opportunity to meet new people, talk to people who were 10, 15, 20 years out and get their knowledge and things like that, but it was also to learn from these doctors, talk to these doctors, talk to ProCare, talk to these other affiliates and things like that. So to me, what I spent was worth the value was worth it. So you got to ask
Yeah,
yourself that is the value worth what I'm spending?
100% for me. For me.
Again, it's finding value in why you're going. Like again, there are benefits to going to these events, and again, not everyone can go to them. But if you're just going, if you don't want to go for like the things specific to those events, there are tons of other little meetups that everyone throws every year.
Yeah. Aaron said that they do monthly meetups in Michigan. It's a great finding local
Yeah.
friends. Could you imagine that? Like having a group of friends that you meet monthly and you like kind of, what if you got to the point where you're like doing things like taking hikes together or, just having brunch or something like that and hanging out with people that you kind of relate with and get away with for a little bit, not being up each other's ass so much, but just, letting each other know that you're still there. That is what is the best part about this community. What's up, James? How you doing, man? Welcome,
Like I
Kat.
said,
Thanks for the likes. Join
or
our team.
get out of your comfort zone and host your own little event.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people. Hey, I'm gonna go. I'm doing hiking this weekend. Who
right.
wants to come join me? There goes an event, a free event, pretty much right there that you can do at your own home, and still get that community bonding at a small level. And who knows, that might start off with 2 people and end up being 10 or 20 down the road.
We did the Fenway event last year.
Yeah, that Fenway was awesome.
It was cool. That was actually it was a year today, yesterday, because I know that someone had posted something and shared it with me, and I ended up reposting it.
Yeah, community does matter, Betty.
No.
That's it. Community is a big thing for us, and that's something that we didn't have in previous weight loss journeys.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, like, we look at the connections that we make here, and it's a tough place to navigate. There are a lot of relationships that we have in this community. You know, again, we don't know each other. You know, we think that we know each other, and you know, in the beginning, when we first start talking to everyone, all we do is talk bariatrics because that's all we can talk about, especially if we come into the community together.
Yeah.
And as you get to know people longer, you get to know, all right, their personalities. What are their other interests? What are the other things that, like, oh, you know what, that annoys me. I don't align with that. Like, it happens. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, like, we find out that, like, okay, yeah, well, we relate to just bariatrics. Everything else in life, I don't relate to it at all. And then, you know, now you're just associated to that person. Maybe you're just, you know, a friendly face in the community that you pass by.
I literally joined this community to find out what I should be eating, how I should be eating, and I've left with it with a family now.
Exactly.
You build lifelong friendships and family through this community.
Yeah, I came on here to see how bad it hurt. You know what I'm saying? And how fast it works. You know how bad it hurts and how fast it works. That's right. Got to listen to instincts for sure. 447, welcome to the live. Thank you for the rose sleeve. Appreciate you. All the likes, we appreciate it. 13,000.4 likes. We appreciate all the love. If you guys can continue to share the live and tap my zit on my nose, I'd appreciate it. Welcome to the conversation. We're talking about the state again of the bariatric community, and the state again of the bariatric community, and these past couple of days early in this week. I want to remind you all to tune in every Sunday with our sister chat, Talk Bari to Me with VSG Bestie at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, and 5 p.m. Pacific. This is just a quick intermission, you know, taking a breather, appreciating all of you in the comments that are hanging out with us on this live. Hey, like Team Biggie said, don't forget your bariatric vitamins. Multivitamins are the best, in my opinion, from ProCare, not to mention those great tasting calcium chews that they have for your daily calcium needs. Thanks for tuning in to Bari Mel Experience. That peach and cream flavor is bomb. Yeah.
Yeah. Peaches and cream, man.
I'm so mad someone stole my bag at JBOS, so I don't have one.
No, I'm not selling you a thing, VSG Bestie.
All right, so that's interesting.
What?
You know, again, we come into this community, we make friends with everyone. You go to an event and you're like, oh, this is great. I love all these people. And then something like that happens.
Yeah.
You're like, who in God's earth would steal another bag under someone else's nose?
Yeah. And the worst thing, it was downstairs. Arisa it was actually Arisa's bag. I gave her mine. It was under her wings.
So, well, Tara was bags in her bag, in her gift bag. They were already open. Like someone opened theirs and were like, "Nah, I want a full bag. I like those," and put them back. I don't know, but like, who cares? We both got a bag and we're sharing them, and those calcium chews are the bomb.
So now I'm gonna go get me some peaches and cream because I want to try those.
Right.
They're good. I mean, I was like, you know, I'm not a big peach person, but again, I don't think I've had anything bad from ProCare.
I haven't either. I really haven't either.
I was skeptical about the mocktails when Rab told me about them.
Yeah.
But again, like we talked gin and tonic, I'm like, I am not gonna like.
Yeah.
I don't even like gin and tonic.
Right.
They're good.
They're on point. They're pretty on point. They are.
Yeah, and I mean,
The only thing I can't
that
get
go
on
fast.
board, and because it's just not my flavor, is a cinnamon roll. They're decent. It's just not
Right.
my cup of tea.
I'm there with you. I do love the
I
dinner
like it
mints
so
though.
much. I got the big one.
Oh, look at you!
So check it out. Back to the topic at hand, the state of the bariatric community. You know what stuck out most to me so far in these past couple of days, 2, 3 days, is that we have creators and we're sharing, all this information, all these assumptions are being made, blah, blah, blah. And then there's comments that are it's mostly from the comments, not from the content. It's mostly from the comments. Just like so much negativity. And I'm not trying to bring negativity to this conversation, but I do have to touch on the fact that it interests me. I have an hard time. I'm sure Betty will have something to say about this, but it really interests, and not in a bad way. It just interests me how fast and how easy it is for some of us as a whole, because we're a whole, could act the same way the people acted towards us when we were fighting obesity and going through our lowest point. Just like tearing each other down or being negative and judging and,
So are you
pulling
talking food
people.
police?
Huh?
You talking food police?
Just like not just food police, just like the
General.
judgment and just like the
What you?
negativity. And it's like, when I came here, when I come here, when I'm here, like I'm going to tell y'all straight up, the only reason why I'm on this platform is because of Barry Mel experience. If it was not for Barry Mel experience, I wouldn't even be on TikTok anymore because of the negativity. And I know that Barry Mel experience is completely based on only positivity. That's all we do. That's all we do. It's just straight up positivity, a place for guys to share some experiences and what they're going through, our, feelings and how we navigate through our journeys, and different thoughts about how we process things that go on around us during this weight loss journey. And it's just like, I just don't understand how we get to a point where we treat each other, regardless. I know we all aren't going to get along. I know that's cool, but we're all adults, man. Like, come on.
It's
I just go ahead, D.
it's just, to me, it's just years and generations of doing the same thing. This is how we were raised. This is how your parents were raised. You see it from generation to generation to generation. It's all negativity sells. That's what interests the world. It's ooh, this is interesting. Ooh, they're getting. That's what's peaking the world. Like that's why they have tabloids, because that's what sells. You don't see nowadays. You see it a lot more. You don't see plus size models when you see things, people at the gym, like gym photos and things like that. You don't see guys like us working out at the gym. I used to have the conversation with my trainer all the time. It's like I used to be intimidated by things like this because I didn't see anybody that looked like me, but that people like me don't sell.
But again, you're looking at it from one objective, because again, there's different variations of interactions that we have in this community, and a lot of it comes from people, especially when you're further out. Because even I find myself doing it now, and I have to stop myself because obviously, yeah, I'm only 2 years out. But again, like we all have some type of experience in this journey, and we want to offer the best advice to people who come into the community asking questions. But how do we present that? How do we present that information to them? Do we come off rude? Do we, like, again, and it's all in how someone perceives it. Do we give people tough love? Do we, like, again, and it's all in how someone perceives it. Do we give people tough love? Do we baby them to a certain point where, maybe we shouldn't? Basically you're just giving them a pacifier to let giving them a free ride if they make a mistake. I mean, there's different variations as to how people approach it. I mean, there's extreme where people body shame people, or they, the food police thing where, you shouldn't be eating that. Again, it's people. It's the reason why they're doing it. Why are that? Why are you? Why are you? How are you submitting that objective answer to someone? How are you presenting it? Are you? Does it come from the heart? Are you just in it to be an asshole? Seriously, like there's different variations of it because it's like, oh, I didn't mean anything by it. I just mean that you shouldn't be doing that. I've already gone through this. I don't want to see you go through the same thing. But how do you project that? Are you projecting your own insecurities? Are you projecting your own trauma towards someone? Or are you just that mean spirited? And I don't know. It comes in different variations throughout this community because, again, weight loss community. And I know we get a lot of flack from people that don't have surgery or are on GLP-1. People that have done it naturally. Those are the most common people I think that come into this community and give us a ton of, they give us their opinion. Not so much now. I think it was a lot when I first came into the community. I don't see it as much. But it's people
Damn.
projecting feelings towards everyone.
Now, Tony, do you think it also matters on who's receiving that message also too?
It does because some people respond differently. Some people are okay with the tough love. Some people need that kick in the ass. Some people kind of need to be like, hey, give you a pat on the back and like, it's okay. Tomorrow's a new day.
And,
It differs because some people are triggered. Some people are like, you know what? I don't like to be told what to do. Some people are like, yes, sir, I'll take care of that. I'll make sure it happens.
and that's where
Yeah,
I think
I'm
the
with you,
negativity in the
447.
community comes from.
I'm with you.
That's where I think a lot of the
447 fit.
negativity in the community comes from also too. It's we have these lives and you have a whole bunch of people in these lives, different styles, different ways of thinking of things. And if I'm telling my truth and what works for me to somebody, it may resonate with this one individual, but it may not resonate with Rab. And now Tony's getting mad because he thinks I'm talking bad on Rabs, and it just blows up from there.
Right. 447 to fit. What else is there to talk about? The best way to get past this nonsense is not to pay attention. 100% agree, man, with you there. But it's like when you're like committed to, and you get it. I know you do, man. When you're committed to like the males in the community, period, as a whole, like we are, it's just like we have to be like there as like maybe the big brother to throw some defense on some people who take things really really hard and want to run away and not speak with us and not feel safe, not feel loved or appreciated or as accepted as they may have thought they were. And that's why we've created this space. And I know you know that, but I just I know where you're coming from. Another thing that gets me is that um, we all are human, and like you said earlier, it's the way we're brought up, it's the things we learn. But like, at what point does accountability come into play? One, and two, at what point is it that uh, 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 what am I looking for? Hold on a second. It's coming. What about having respect for others? Just, appreciating someone's space. I say this all the time. Just being an act of kindness. How about this? How about, I can't remember the word I'm looking for. Um, just having consideration for others. See how I built that up for you? Common courtesy. Yeah, that's where it's coming from. Like,
For
what
me, I think
happened to common courtesy, man? Like, check this out. Like, I'm not, I'm going to use this as an example because it was brought to my attention. I never really thought of it before, but like, if you're hanging with your wife or your girl or your man and you're out there and you're chilling, right? and you know somebody online and they come up and talk to you, you know, common courtesy is to introduce them to the person you're talking to. And then after you introduce them to the person you're talking to, or if the person you don't know somebody or you met them online, you come up because Barry Mother did this, and so did Janae. She did this. They walked up. They said, "Hi, Rap. How you doing? Hello, such Tara. This is such," and they were like, "Glad to meet you." Acknowledge. Hi, hello, common courtesy. You know, letting someone who's handicapped or can't get around, you know, as fast as you can to the front of the line. You know, stuff like that. Just like
I
ah,
really thought
man.
I thought you were calling me out because I did that to you know I did that to Nina when we were at JBY. It was like I tried to introduce her to absolutely everyone,
Right.
but I was just kind of all over the place. And Rab actually had to put again. Rab, being you know someone that you know obviously I respect and everything, recognized what I was doing and was like, "Hey, you know what you're doing here?
Mm.
Like, go back and check in with your wife over there."
Yeah.
You know, calling me out on it, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you know what? You're right."
I learned that the hard way at retreat. It's easy to forget when you're also trying to live in the moment and you're meeting all these people for the first time. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes exciting, and it just slips your mind at times.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it's correct or right, but
You're caught up in the moment.
Remember,
Yeah, it's
You are.
very easy for that stuff to happen, and I think a lot of things happen in this community that we don't realize and we don't recognize ourselves. And I think it kind of leads us into like you know a lot of stuff that like we talked about, or actually Shar talked about this past Sunday, was just about like things that we don't see happen. That we, you know, we've got blinders on to everything, and we don't realize like what's happening around us because we're caught up in the moments. And like you know, you don't realize that you know stuff happens in this community, and you know, you wouldn't think would happen in the community at all, and you know, it's kind of unnerving because you want people to feel safe in all aspects. But you know, again, we're all human. Sometimes the intent isn't meant. Sometimes it is. We don't know. Again, you know, but like stuff happens, and sometimes people don't feel safe. You know, and it might not might dissuade them from actually going back out and you know going out to another event like that.
Right.
But kind of alluding to the point of just like people who don't, you know, to Rab's point, giving people space and, you know, recognizing that, you know, there needs to be personal space between people. Yes, you know, a lot of us are all friends. Yes, a lot of us, you know, when we first meet each other, we hug each other and we give each other a pat in the back. It's a handshake. But again, like this is also a warranted like welcome. Like people, there is a consensual like, how are you? I'm happy to see you. But then there's obviously space that's you know violated to the point where it's like I didn't ask for this.
we got to remember, just because we got these new bodies and we're out there feeling ourselves, doesn't mean everybody wants you.
Man, you couldn't tell me that 6, 7, 8 months ago, man.
Hey, and,
Oh
and,
my
and,
God.
and it's true. It's one of those things where we're out there, we have this new body, we feel better than ever. You're out there with other people feeling the same way.
Yeah.
Drinks may be affluent, and like I said, we can't use alcohol as an excuse.
Yeah. No, the trick's on you. You can't do that. You can't. Not at all.
And
So,
you know,
go ahead.
no, go ahead. I know you had a thought.
No, I'm getting ready to take a bite of my food.
So
Cauliflower pizza.
Mexican lasagna, Tony's favorite.
so I know that I know that the ladies from Talk Barry to Me have a hotline that they had pushed out for everyone, and it's for you know. I'd like for them to actually put that down in the chat for everyone. If you do ever run into a situation where you do need to talk to someone, where something has happened, I know that Shar and
1-800-656 HOPE.
drop that in there. Don't ever feel like you don't have someone to talk to.
Link is in the
Obviously,
bio.
you may not feel comfortable reaching out to someone in the community. Reach out to a professional. Obviously, that's very important. And of course, we all have relationships in this space with a lot of people. But sometimes you do need, a professional to speak with. But if the ladies could drop that in the comments, multiple times until the end of this live, I would appreciate it. Just so like new people coming in, just make sure that we're throwing that out there.
One thing I want to bring up too, again, that I brought up in her life too, that a lot of people didn't know. If you are out there having a night out at the bar, at the club, or something like that, and all of a sudden you start feeling uncomfortable, one of the best things you could do is go up to that bartender and order an angel shot. That lets that bartender know that you're uncomfortable, something's not right, and they're going to get security to come help you and escort you out and make sure you get home safe. So that's something important to remember too.
That's right. And in the meantime, in between time, if you are a man and you have a friend of yours or you're in the vicinity of any type of sexual harassment going on, be one and step up and say something. Step in the way. Be proactive.
And I want to make it so I'm going to piggyback off of that because, again, typically you're going to think when you think of someone being harassed, you always think of a man harassing a woman. It does go the other way. And I know that Char made that point on Sunday. Again, if one of the ladies, if you see one of your girls out there and obviously you see someone out there and they're making advances towards someone that just is not interested, again, it's the same thing. No one thinks of a guy being, harassed in that way. Right. But again, everything goes both ways. And I think respect amongst everyone is important. And I think giving everyone that space and respecting that space is huge. And my dog agrees. And we knew that it wasn't going to go an entire live without him actually barking.
Right.
So.
Yeah, hey, welcome from the Netherlands. Welcome from the Netherlands.
Wow, we are really reaching out tonight.
Hey, Dutch Goose, if you ever get a minute, congratulations on your 190-pound loss, everybody. Woo! Congratulations.
Nice, that's awesome.
190 pounds lost by the Dutch Goose. Hey, look, you're on the other side of the map. Hit us with a DM. We would love to have you up on a panel sometimes. We want to space with anybody outside the country or the U.S. and our brothers here and across the pond. Dutch Goose, the Barrett Miller Experience. Dutch Goose, the Barrett Miller Experience. 1 likes. That's amazing. We truly appreciate all the comments, all the love that you all have shared. As always, every Taco Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always awesome when I hear someone lost a whole person away. I know. It's great. It's so good. You're so happy for their achievement. It's awesome. Is it skipping or is it just the Wi-Fi? I don't know. I don't feel like I'm skipping. I hope I'm not skipping.
That lives in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah,
it's you.
Oh man!
But I appreciate you being in the big box tonight.
But this is why I'm never in the big box because I got the worst shows.
It wasn't super bad.
No, it wasn't.
Well, how's it now?
This whole live, it's been great.
You're good right now.
I'm always the problem. Yeah, of course it's been great. It's always great showing and sharing the love, man. I love it. It's awesome. Welcome, Jason, to the live. We're running down on time, but I'm glad that you're here, man. I miss you, bro, for sure. Yeah, Rab's always the drama. I gotta love it. I'm only the drama online though. I'm never the drama outside, offline. Peggy, how you doing?
Now, Tony.
When I'm outside, I'm not the drama.
Now, Tony, what would you like to see from this community to rebound and get back to what the whole purpose of this community is?
I think obviously there's time for for people to kind of just take a step back.
Yeah.
Again, we spend a lot of time on this app. I
Yeah.
spend a lot less time than I used to. I know that Rab spends a lot less time. Biggie, I don't see you on as much either. I mean, again, we kind of need to decompress, kind of take yourself out of the space a little bit. I'm not saying completely remove yourself, but take that step back and then, you know what, kind of just dip your toes back in and come back into the community. Because again, you
Yeah.
kind of need things are going to settle down regardless. People aren't going to all leave the space. But, you know, if you feel like you need a break from social media, take a break from social media.
Take a break.
Again, and that's why a lot of people come into the community. They come back and they're like, "Oh my God, this happened! When did this happen?" I could have
Yeah.
I saw Titan in here earlier. He had no idea that OSLP, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But again, when you're removed from spaces, you know, you're free from like the drama. You're free from the comments. You're free from like just the vibe. Because, you know, for a lot of us, including myself, I take on the energy of the community. And when the community vibe is in tough shape, I'm always in tough shape because I feel it. Because I hate seeing the community like this. I don't like seeing it like this. I don't like when there's a ton of drama going on, and that's the only thing people want to talk about. Because I feel like if you want drama, go watch reality TV because that's all it's set up for.
Yeah.
I don't come to this space for that. I come to this space for support. I come to this space to support people. I come to this space for information, and it's a chance to be able to get away that I don't get a chance to because I don't relate to everyone on this specific subject. So, I mean, given this space, if it's supposed to be safe, then let's make it safe. And if you don't feel like it's safe, step away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy navigating this space sometimes, and it happens every 6 months or something. Something goes down, and you know I like it when the community as a whole is positive and the vibe is out there and the love is out there. It just makes this space so much better than all the other platforms out on other social media platforms.
So I guess it's just safe to say, you know, everybody's always welcome here with Talk Barry to Me and Barry Mill Experience. We are imperfect creatures, just as VSG Bestie says. So if you run across any hate in the community, or you're running across a bunch of people that you don't relate to, or you're having communication errors with, or you're not just not getting along with, and but you really love this space, don't forget the Barry Mill Experience and Talk Barry to Me is the place to be because
And
we're all positivity here. Oh, and you know what? I got to throw it out there because, you know, everyone else in the comments as well, but I got to throw love on Barry Nation as well. Barry Nation is definitely a positive place to be as well.
You
Much
want
love, Jason.
you want a quiet space where you don't
Yeah,
have the comments or anything. Very nice.
yeah, 100%.
I don't spend as much time as I used to in there, but when I really need the support and I don't want the noise of all the outside comments and stuff,
You want
I
to go
know
on vacation?
Jason has seen me pop in. He knows when I pop in. He knows when I need that because there are days I just need that space and I need the kind of quiet. I don't need the outside drama and stuff. But again, a ton of great resources in Barry Nation. I don't think I don't think we could ever say a bad thing that I couldn't find in Barry Nation. It's just, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, it's a great safe space.
Yeah,
It's a great alternative to social media.
100%. And again, I know it's cliche, but the link is in the bio.
Like Jason said, it's a great place to practice being a bariatric patient without the judgment. I don't think you could put it any better than that.
Yeah, we love you back, Dom. Welcome, brother. Thanks for coming to hang out with us tonight. 8:53 on the dime, 25,000 likes on the dime. Thank you all for the love.
Yeah,
We appreciate you.
one tonight, and Rab, I really do appreciate you taking the box tonight. As much as I haven't had to run away, that's great.
I'm going to say, Tony made it through the whole night.
You know, you're gonna
Hey, don't-
jinx me with like 5 minutes left. You know that.
Hey, Hey, don't thank me, thank Barefoot. We'll make it through all the time, man. We're here and together, man. I got my head back on my shoulders, man. I'm happy. So easy. So it works out. Yeah, shout
Awesome.
out to Dom. It is the Barefoot BSC Bestie. Team Big E, I'm gonna put you on the spot, man. How do you feel? How do you feel like, what's your moment of this conversation tonight?
So for me, it comes down to respect. We need to
Yeah,
learn to respect everybody. Just because one person says one thing doesn't necessarily mean that it's all safe. It's what's worked for them. What we came onto this platform to do is to share our story and say what worked for us. There's no need to bash that person if it doesn't line up to what you're doing. You can go on live and tell your story and what you do works for you. I always tell people this all the time. Just because I'm sharing my story, as long as it resonates with one person, I am
yeah,
happy. There may be 100 people in there, but if I touch one person and one person come to me later on down the road and said, because of what you suggested to me, helped me get back on track, I am golden. We don't need to bash everybody. We're here to up support people. And that's the key thing is support. We're here to support. Remember that. That is the most important thing is we're here to support.
Again, and we're not experts at anything. We're just men sharing our journey from our perspective, and we can only give you our perspective and what's worked for us. If any of that resonates with you, and if you resonate with that information and it works for you too, then that's awesome. Again, but this is such a large space. The entire weight loss community is a very large space, and I think respect amongst everyone in this community is important. And if you don't resonate with what someone is saying, like when I was a kid, if you didn't like what was on TV, change the channel. And it's that
man.
simple. You don't
Click,
need to
click.
comment. You don't need to create that. Don't create it. If you don't want a negative space, then don't create a negative space.
There's
That's right.
hundreds of lives going on at once. Go find something. Go find your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're not your
So my
family, there's going to be
takeaway,
someone else that will be.
yeah. And my takeaway is common courtesy. I know Betty was on here earlier and she's like, who are these people? And I get what she was saying 100%. Like, who do you expect these people to be? Like, there's so many different ways. Like, Big E had talked earlier that everybody is different and brought up in their own way. So you have to respect that. And I have to remember all the time, and you say this as advice to you, is that you can't expect you from people. You just can't, and it's not fair to the people who just don't know. I don't know how to be a bariatric man. I'm learning. You know, and since we're at 8:56, I had said something about pop recovery that Tony D thought I was going to forget about, but I'm gonna jump out there anyway because that's what I do. Um, Pop recovery. Uh, I don't know. I don't expect you to see this, let alone. I just don't expect you to see it. But I know that you know that there's a very male experience, and very male experience as a whole supports pop recovery and whatever it is that they offer their clients. I mean, we don't know what you offer, but hey, if you're giving someone a good life and a great experience, and you're holding events and people are enjoying themselves, and you're creating an environment where people feel safe and happy, then we're all for that. We don't really know what pop recovery provides. But we just support positivity and we love it. But I do have one problem and one issue, and that only issue is that we as men are trying to our hardest to find our space in this community that is 80% female. So it kind of hurts. Like, we know that you have a great event coming up and we're excited for you. But when you use BME, it makes us feel like you don't see us. We feel unseen. And I don't think that you intentionally did that or even see that. I know you know that there is very male experience, but we love y'all. We support you if you're creating positivity within the community. Continue to do what you do if that's what you're doing. We don't know much about you to speak on you on that behalf, but welcome to the community. We love y'all. Those of you 26.27,000 likes, we appreciate it. Thanks for joining us tonight. I don't know if any of you two have anything else to say before we close it out.
I don't think I can follow that one up, man.
Oh, that was perfect.
All right. Hey, we love y'all. We love all the support. Don't forget to watch our sister chat. Talk Berry to me on Sunday, VSG Bestie. Thanks y'all for y'all support. We'll catch y'all next Taco Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peace out. And this
Peace.
is our bariatric journey.